This year's school theme was Reach, Renew, and Rejoice. And we have worked hard at that school theme here at Red Hill Lutheran this year. Our teachers, our parents, and our students have come together to form an incredible team to accomplish that Christian education goal. And our teachers have been incredibly dedicated and passionate, working together with our parents who have partnered with us in Christian education so that the students ultimately can take all the gifts and abilities they've been given by God and learn how to use those and fashion those to hopefully one day serve God through their community and their lives. And that's why I'm here at Red Hill Lutheran, is because it's home for me. And it's home for me because I get to work with people who are incredible each and every day.
This year's class, it's kindergarten. It's just surprising to know that they've been able to get on Zoom and be able to continue to actually do a lesson with me. And even they're a little bit more bouncier than usual, they're just still their cute little selves, and they've really just done such an amazing job. I've been really proud of them. I mean, it's amazing when they first start out at the beginning of the year and they can barely even put letters together, and then by this time they're writing 5 sentences, they're ending it with a closing sentence, and basically they're writing a whole paragraph. I'd love to just tell my students that I just miss them so much, and I just wish it's so hard, like when you're on a Zoom meeting, that I can't just reach out and hug you anymore. So I would just, if my message would be, I would just love to actually give you guys a great big hug.
Oh my goodness gracious. Kindergarten, you see so much growth and so much change from the beginning of the year, where they're very timid and very nervous, into these amazing, confident little learners who are just excited about learning, and just their perseverance to continue to do their best, even though we're learning under such different circumstances now. They've really done an amazing job. They already know how much I miss them and how much I love them. It is such a privilege to be their teacher and to partner with their parents during this time. Their futures are so bright because they have a strong relationship. Even at this young age, you have a strong relationship with God. And just keep growing, keep working hard, and you are going to be just fine. You are going to be just fine. And once I am your teacher, I will always be your teacher, even when we say goodbye. So just keep hanging in there. Just know that I love you and Jesus loves you. And it's been a great year.
I miss seeing them face to face. I miss their hugs and their smiles every day when they come into classroom. My students this year have been a real blessing to me in my teaching career. I feel that they have taught me just as much as I have taught them tenacity and grit. This is the stuff that the class of 2020 is made of, and it's golden.
I miss the students being in the music room. I cannot wait to come back and have the students all get out their instruments and at the same time create this loud, out-of-tune note from being out of practice, and I can't wait for that moment. Students are artists, they are singers, they are musicians, and to foster that creates the opportunity for the student to grow in every aspect of their life.
One of the things that I love most about our first graders is that they love learning in general. We had one of our moms coordinate like a birthday parade where everyone stays in their car and we just drive by these students' homes and just wish them a happy birthday. And you can just see, not only was it just special for that student whose birthday it was, but it was special for all of us to just see each other in real life. And so I feel like that brought a lot of hope for us and just excitement to see one another. And I know that when we finally get to see each other, it's going to be a really, really fun time.
During this transition to online learning, our class has not stopped learning. We have been focused on continuing to stay connected socially via Zoom, and we have an entire Google Classroom platform set up where we integrate Flipgrid and Seesaw and Pear Deck, as well as other technology sources. My students have shined in many ways this year through the entire online learning transition. They're all my heroes. I see them shine daily when they come onto Zoom, but most importantly, during the school year, they were able to participate in several classroom transformations we have in first grade. One particular fun memory was our Jurassic Park classroom transformation, where they all became park rangers, and we got to learn about dinosaurs, and they took on full character. And just through our fun activities in first grade, my students have been able to learn in deep and complex ways.
I think what's special about having music at Red Hill Lutheran is that we get to have so many different kinds of music, and so we really get that base at kindergarten and first grade where they get to come in one class at a time and really learn the fundamentals of melody and rhythm and instrument playing, and then they get to break off and go see both Mr. Hunter and myself, and they get the unique opportunity of singing in a larger choir with having 40 to 50 students in here at one time, which is something that few schools offer and something that we get to do that's really unique.
I've been reminding my kids that God is everywhere, and so it's really cool to see how they are finding God in every part of their day. One of the other things that we've been doing too is really just talking about, like, how can I be a light to other people right now? Where can God use me right now in this situation? Do I need to be a really good sibling if my brother or sister is struggling? Do I need to be a responsible daughter or son by helping out my parents at home? What are some ways that I can show God's love to other people throughout this time? So so God is still around us, God's still working, even though we're not in the classroom together. I've just been really proud of my students, and this has been a really special year for me. So not ending the year with them has been really hard. And I just want to let them know that I love them, I miss them, I wish they were in the classroom with me. But you guys are doing an amazing job, and I've been really impressed by how you've been pushing through and persevering, and I love you all, and I hope that you come back and visit me.
Our class during this transition has never stopped learning. We continue every day. We do Zoom once a day. We do our lessons. We do instruction. Our kids have a learning calendar that we send out on Sundays for the week. We continue with all of our subjects. We do social studies to science, math, reading, language arts. They do writing. We do author's chair on Friday, mathematician chair. We are doing outside projects as well as a lot of reading. So our classroom has just transformed into their home and my home and via Zoom, but it has never stopped. So learning continues in second grade. We're having a great time on Zoom. The families have really grown together with me to be a partner. This class in particular, the families have always been part of the learning process with me. I always start my classroom talking to the parents about the success of your child. Starts with them as well as with me and the family life at home. And it's continued on to Zoom.
I miss their faces. I miss the energy that they bring to my classroom. I miss the crazy creative abandon when you have 30 students acting like sleeping animals. The confidence, the poise, the communication skills, the ability to appreciate and learn about people of other cultures and other ethnicities. I just think that theater broadens the world for students.
They have been absolutely amazing during this remote learning time. They're dedicated to what I give them. They ask for feedback. They ask for follow-up. They love getting the results from tests, and they say thank you when I give them the results. And sometimes weekends are horrible because I don't get to see them for those 2 days. So we don't get Friday hugs because that's our Friday. So I'm giving you a hug for the rest of the year.
Families have been so supportive and dedicated during this time. I'm so thankful for the support and dedication of the parents, and I feel like we have just been a team through all of this, and I couldn't have done it without them, and how they ensure their kids are doing the lessons at home to make sure that we're staying on track with our curriculum. They've just been so supportive and dedicated. I'm so thankful for them.
I truly believe that everybody can learn another language. And I think that learning another language has a lot of benefits. The first one, if you start with kids at an early age, is that they develop phonics very easily, what is really good because, I'm from Mexico, so they can really understand all the inflection of my voice. I think that it's great to learn another language because they can improve memory. It helps them to get aware of different cultures, and they develop more tolerance. And so I think that that's great that Red Hill can offer that.
So RHLS has been amazing through all of this, and it quite honestly brings tears to my eyes. A few weeks ago, it was really rough, and just trying to work with families and get that balance. And then it was right at that moment that emails just started coming in from specialty teachers about how they were going to be bringing lessons in and websites. And it was, honestly, it felt like they were superheroes.
I've seen my students shine throughout the year in so many ways. I see the light of Christ shine through them as they continue to grow in Him. We are all work in progress, but I really filled with the Holy Spirit in this classroom and online too. I see them continuing to give their best and glorify God with their effort and their attitude and sharing great faith connections. And just the effort they put into the projects has been great, keeping up with homework on time and studying for their tests and still doing a good job, whether it's online or whether it wasn't online before that.
I really miss my students. I think that I've gotten a lot of emails from, I'm getting emotional, I'm gonna start crying. So last week, I got a lot of emails from my 6th graders saying that they missed being in the classroom and saying hi to me. And it's so difficult just to know that it's hard for us as teachers not being able to see them, but I'm sure it's hard for them not being able to see their friends, their teachers, and just like this safe space, right, that I think we've all created. And I miss spending time with them. I miss having them in the classroom. I miss them just like screaming at me in the parking lot. I miss their presence.
The power of prayer has been mighty during this time with the crisis and the whole coronavirus. Just like today, some of my students shared that they have not had this kind of family time together in a long time. So they are really, truly cherishing these moments when they can even sit down and have dinner together. God has kind of pressed the pause button and allowed them to have that time to be able to gather as a family and enjoy each other's company and, just spend that time and shelter in place, but also shelter in our Lord.
If I had a message for my 5th graders, I would tell them that each and every one of them are so capable and ready to go to middle school. Each and every one of you have worked so hard this year. You have gone above and beyond, and you have adjusted as needed, and all of you are ready to go to middle school, and I will miss you so much next year, and I'm very proud of you.
Teachers and students have never said they can't wait to get to school more than this year, and I just realize how much the energy of being a teacher. I knew it was good when I started it, but being a teacher, that energy, in the classroom every single day, that the love and the love they give and that they receive, and really it's just the best part of the job, and it just can't be replaced. So I just cannot wait to get all the kitty cats back in the classroom and back to normal.
One of the things that we've done that's really important with kids is we try to truly engage every part of the child's brain, whether it's in the classroom teaching about language arts or math. Then they go to music, then they learn dance, they learn choir, they learn instruments. My side is PE, physical challenges, physical exercise. And I love it because even during a difficult time like this, when we're forced to be home, our bodies have to stay active. Getting the kids out there, making it fun, so that even though they're at home, they can get that break from doing math or doing language arts or whatever it is, and they can sit for a moment and get to do a lot of fun exercises.
Academically, I've seen them grow so much in their writing. From the beginning of the year to where they are now, the way that they've grown as writers has been really incredible. As human beings, they've grown so much just in their character and their maturity, and especially with what they're handling now. I've seen them take on so much with so much grace, and just the way that they've tackled everything that they're facing right now has been extraordinary.
One of the heartbreaking things about this past few months is that we've had to cancel our probability carnival. It was right at the time when all my 7th graders were just like so close to finishing. And I actually have a few still here in the room that are set up, but they were so close to, kind of hosting, and there was so much excitement that was built up. And so I promised them that should we find just a minute of time, that I would allow them to host their carnival as 8th graders now instead of 7th graders. So that'll be one of my goals next year, is to set aside that time to let that creativity show, and to let all that effort kind of come out, and let all the other kids see the fruit of that effort.
I think the second chapel out of the gate, practice had not gone real well, and we sort of, started off a little rough, and by the end of the chapel, the kids were singing loud. The students had all of a sudden stepped up. You could see the confidence. You could feel it palpably in the room, not just with the students that were playing, but the entire sanctuary sort of rose up. There was like a big breath, and then everybody just started singing. So we sang Happy Day, and it was about as loud as you can have a song be. It was pretty incredible.
So for Red Hill Science is a little bit different than other schools, because the big purpose of science for us is not only to know him, but to make him known. And in order to make him known, we have to know about all the things that he created and how he put things together. And we do that through earth science and physical science and biology. And on top of that, on top of the Christian perspective, we also integrate other subjects. So it's a very cross-discipline specific kind of science, where we talk about science, but also we bring in language arts, and we bring in math, and we bring in art, and we even bring in music, and we bring in culture and social studies, so the kids get a better feel for how everything is integrated.
I think the most exciting thing for me is to see how the students, even though they're at home and even though it's different, they're still giving me the same effort and the same level of and quality of work as I saw in the classroom from them. And that's just been really rewarding to see that they understand things are different and they're not here in person, but they're still giving me that same level of effort, and the quality of work they're turning in has just been terrific.
One project they did that I was really proud of is they had to go ask a teacher a problem they had, and then they had to solve it through 3D printing. So one was just creating from Dr. Marcour doorstop holders, and you can actually see these behind our large, heavy doors around the school. Mr. Hunter had the problem of not finding a straw long enough for his giant cup, and he wanted a reusable straw. And so a student printed him a very large straw with a music note on it, and he says it's his favorite straw. So there's just a lot of creative, fun ways that they have got to see just the confidence of I can create, I can help, and I can problem solve.
One big journey that the middle school kids have done this year is the Genius Hour project. So they've been doing this all year. At the beginning of the school year, they all chose a topic that was something that they were passionate about. And throughout the year, we've been doing lessons on research reports. They've gone on interviews, on-site visits. They are working on display boards right now, even though it's distance learning. And our last lesson is on TED Talks. I've been at Red Hill for 17 years, and I've seen it grow stronger and stronger. I think the teamwork that we have from the teachers helps consistency from grade to grade. The willingness of teachers to try new things, to learn, continually grow professionally. I love bringing new ideas to the school, and the teachers bring them as well, and together we've really, really grown the school. So for kids here, you're getting a top-of-the-line research-based program with teachers who care, who are Christians. The sense of community and relationships are strong.
I love my job. I love interacting with kids, helping them, teaching them. I have been so impressed by how hard our students have continued to learn and grow and work at home. Our teachers are phenomenal with what they're providing. But the thing I learned is that without students, my job really isn't very much fun at all. So I am praying for everybody and cheering you on, and cannot wait for the day when we can move from we miss you to welcome back.
I've been here now over 20 years, and I can tell you we're at a season in our life as a church and school where our teachers, our faculty, our staff all of the leaders of our church and school see their work here not just as a job, but as a vocation. And true to the word vocation, that word means call. They see themselves as called to be educators, to nurture children where they are and as they are. And importantly, to ensure that our students and their parents, grandparents, and family members understand that they too are loved by God, and that this is a place where they can come and trust that their children are going to be educated and nurtured in very positive and profound ways.
Thank you, Red Hill families. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for trusting in us, for your children being with us. Thank you for enrolling in this school year. It's a different school year. We all acknowledge that, and we have such gratitude for you being with us through this interesting time. I'd also like to say thank you to our teachers, our wonderful staff, our school community. That just speaks to me so loudly as a community that we have at Red Hill Lutheran School, and that is what I am missing so much around here. I brag on tours that we have the best huggers at our school, and ouch, that hurts to not experience those hugs. Our teachers and our staff are so fabulous. I love the fact that those are the kind of people you want your children to be surrounded by. And not only the classroom spectacular teacher, but also all of our specialty teachers get to know and love your children and serve them and encourage them and help them to try something new. And who knows what that may lead to down the road. I love being at this school. I miss you being here. I look forward to the days when we can be interacting again. We have such a strong staff, and it'll be a delight for all of us to welcome you back.
Red Hill never stops learning.
Red Hill never stops learning.
Red Hill nunca para de aprender.
Red Hill never stops learning.
Red Hill never stops learning.
Red Hill never stops learning. Red Hill never stops loving.